All right, let's get to it, Rob. LeBron James on his Instagram, Rob, he posted a story. He's got a photo of him in his St. V, high school. It's a high school photo of him in his high school uniform during a game at some point. And there's a Jay-Z lyric that says, it's from the song What More Can I Say from the Black Album. The lyric is, I'm supposed to be number one on everybody's list. We'll see what happens when I no longer exist. There's a lot of ways you can look at this. The Black Album was Jay-Z's supposed to be his retirement album. Supposed to be. He released several albums and songs after that, but it was supposed to be. So if you want to look at it in the retirement vein, there's that. And then I'm gonna focus personally on the GOAT talk, Rob. I mean, that's what, right? He's saying I'm supposed to be number one on everybody's list.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I've defended LeBron in the past when he talked about, like the more than an athlete video, when he said after, they came back in 2016 that made him the greatest player ever. There have been several other times where he referred to himself as the GOAT.
Right.
But Rob, I think it's like a public upset. I think publicly he's coming off as too obsessed with this GOAT thing.
Especially
you go
with
back
Chris.
to after he won in 2020, talking about I want my respect. Just several times, even I'm chasing the ghost of Jordan. At that point, at least he knew he wasn't there. But I just think, Rob, look, LeBron has accomplished so much. Privately, if he thinks he's the GOAT, fine. I think Jordan privately would tell you he's the GOAT. But publicly, he doesn't say it. Kareem doesn't say it. None of those
Nobody's
guys do.
ever said it except for LeBron, Chris. I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, that's not something that you say. Other people say that.
Yeah, I just think it's it's coming off like he's too obsessed with it. And I'm like, look, let your numbers, you're the leading scorer, you're top 5, I believe top 5 assists, certainly top 10, only player top 10 in scoring and assists. You've got your 4 rings, your 4 MVPs. Like, you came back from the 3-1 deficit. You've
lost
won
11
the championship with
championships.
three teams, with 3 teams. Like, let your record speak for itself. I just think it's starting. He's saying it too much, in my opinion.
Well, because he knows. Right?
Dude.
He knows. Chris. He just got swept. Remember we had that conversation, that debate about was it better for them to lose in that, rather than getting to the championship and losing. You remember that conversation?
Yeah.
Which went over pretty well on the Breakfast Club when I was on there. That thing wound up playing out. You know what I mean? Because that was a conversation on it. But anyway, my point was, I don't know. I think you're right. I think he's obsessed. He needs to stop. Coming off of that, man. We're coming off being swept. Just let it go. Go enjoy your summer off, Chris. Come back and try to win again, or and make some changes, and maybe you have a chance. I don't see him winning again, but maybe he will win again. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't. And look, we both clearly.
I told you
Jordan,
I would. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Remember, I just didn't buy into their team, Chris. Remember, I told you that the whole time. Even when they won the first 2 rounds, I just didn't buy into them, and I didn't think they were going to get swept.
They were a good team.
I didn't think they were going to get swept, but I just didn't think that they were good enough to win a championship or go to a championship.
Yeah, I mean, Denver was better, but I mean, the Lakers. Look, for all we know, they might be the second best team in the league. Who knows? I think they were legitimately good, and we'll see what changes they make. Do they bring back the same cast? Obviously, LeBron will be a year older, probably not quite as good. As he is. But yeah, I just think that, you gotta let your record speak for itself. And we even talked, I've talked about how Ali and Floyd Mayweather, they all talked about, being the greatest. It's an individual sport, though. That's a little different. And they were saying that from the beginning, the get-go. So it does come off a little different at this point. But now, were you in when LeBron, when we talked about the retirement talk?
No, I was good. That was his bait and switch where instead of talking about him hitting the side of the backboard and getting 2 shots blocked, he flipped the script so that the conversation was about him maybe retiring rather than him getting swept and not looking good doing it.
I was going to ask you, because in fact, 2 of your feelings, Brian Noe and Ephraim Salam, had that same take.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
We saw a Western Conference executive with that take. So you think that was all deliberate?
Yeah, to make the conversation different. When LeBron even hints that he might be done, Chris, it's one of those things. You're going to talk about that. There's no way you're going to ignore it and act like he didn't say it or whatever. But that was what that was. I mean, it's hard to really, a guy who's played 20 years in the NBA, has had all these accomplishments past Kareem, and he brings that up, and you're going to talk about, well, what happened in the third quarter when you turned the ball over? Do you know what I mean? Like, none of that matters.
Well, he said that at the end, though. I mean, it was at the very end. In fact,
but I'm just saying,
he actually talked more openly about it after the press conference with Dave McMenamin followed him. But
I'm just saying, but it negates the dialogue afterwards, is what I'm saying. The dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it that way. I don't think that's what he was doing. Because first of all, I mean, I don't know where you're at on this, Rob. I don't think so. So LeBron, because he got swept, does that take away from his legacy at all?
No, just an embarrassing. No, but it didn't feel good. I don't think it feels good.
I don't think he'd be that paranoid about. Okay, he got swept. You've been swept before.
Yeah, but
secondly, you're 38 years old. Like, this is not hurting his legacy.
See, I disagree from this standpoint.
That this is hurting his legacy?
No, but it's just about. It's just the way something looks. They felt like Chris. You picked them to go to the West to go to Western Conference.
I picked them to beat Denver.
Right. So you thought, but other people did too. Not just you. I'm not just picking you out. So people thought they were good enough to make this run, and LeBron had another chance to get to the finals. Don't count LeBron out. How many analysts did we hear? I'm not betting against LeBron. Denver's never done anything. I'm not counting. So when it's built up like that, and then you get, not only do you lose, you get swept, I think that is a little bit of embarrassing or humbling. And I'm not saying that changes how people see him in his career or what he's accomplished, but I just think it wasn't like they got no shot against Denver, and if he wins, oh my God, look at what LeBron did. It was the other way. It was that they were supposed to win.
Yeah, like I said, what bothered, I don't think that LeBron was trying to take away from being swept or change the narrative, but he does like to control the narrative. But like I said, I don't think that was his motive. So I just think that about the GOAT talk, LeBron should just Rob, I've said it. I think maybe when the younger generation's controlling the narrative, he might be recognized as the GOAT. Certainly there'll be more than recognize him today as that. And that's fine with me. But he should just let that kind of happen organically. He doesn't need to keep putting it out there. His resume is great, and let the people decide, so to speak.